I found out my husband was living a double life, so I started one of my own. 6 months later, he introduced me to his mistress as his new business partner, never suspecting we'd been planning his downfall together for weeks. When Daniel and I married 5 years ago, he was a mid-level manager at a regional bank with ambitious dreams. I supported him through night school for his MBA, took out a second mortgage on our home to fund his first investment venture, and postponed starting a family when he said the timing wasn't right. His financial consulting business grew rapidly, requiring frequent overnight trips to Chicago, Boston, and Miami. The first sign something was wrong came in the form of a midnight text, clearly not meant for me. "Miss you already, can't wait for next week." When confronted, Daniel dismissed it as a message intended for his brother about their upcoming fishing trip. I chose to believe him. Then came the credit card statements with duplicate hotel charges, one on our joint card, one on his personal card for the same dates in the same cities. The perfume that wasn't mine. The sudden password changes on his phone. The classic signs I ignored because I couldn't face what they meant. Reality crashed down 3 months ago when I received an email from the IRS about our second property, a lakeside condo in Michigan I'd never heard of. The email included documents bearing my forged signature as co-owner. When I drove there unannounced, I found a fully furnished home with photos of Daniel alongside a woman named Vanessa and a toddler who had his eyes. Instead of confronting him immediately, I did something unexpected. Daniel hadn't just been unfaithful, he'd been systematically diverting company funds into personal accounts, using my identity on fraudulent loan applications, and hiding assets in a labyrinth of shell companies. The double life extended far beyond just a mistress. Most shocking was discovering Vanessa believed she was his only wife. The condo documents listed her as Vanessa Mitchell, my legal last name. He told her I was his ex-wife who vindictively refused to finalize our divorce. Rather than explode with rage, I made a calculated decision. I created a new email address, attached photos of the financial documents I'd discovered, and contacted Vanessa directly. "We need to talk. Daniel is lying to both of us." We met at a coffee shop halfway between our homes. I expected tears, accusations, or denial. Instead, Vanessa brought a laptop filled with her own documentation, bank statements, property records, and text messages revealing Daniel's deceptions. She wasn't just his mistress, she was a forensic accountant who'd already begun suspecting financial improprieties. "He doesn't know I've been tracking everything," she said quietly. I started noticing discrepancies in the statements he asked me to review for their business. That afternoon changed everything. Over the next month, Vanessa and I meticulously constructed a complete picture of Daniel's fraudulent empire. We discovered he'd embezzled from clients, committed tax fraud, and was planning to liquidate assets and disappear to Costa Rica without either of us. Then Vanessa proposed something audacious. "His new venture needs another financial partner. Let me introduce you as someone interested in investing." And so my double life began. I dyed my hair from blonde to dark brown, started wearing contacts instead of glasses, adopted a slight southern accent, and became Eleanor James, a divorced entrepreneur looking for investment opportunities. Vanessa arranged the introduction at a business dinner, claiming we'd met at a women's leadership conference. Daniel didn't recognize his own wife sitting across the table. Over the following weeks, Eleanor gained his confidence, received his investment proposals, and was granted access to the business accounts, all while I continued playing the oblivious wife at home. Yesterday, Vanessa and I met with federal investigators turning over comprehensive evidence of Daniel's years of fraud. This morning, they arrested him at his office while simultaneously freezing all associated accounts. By the time you read this, the story will have broken on local news. The divorce papers were delivered to a cell this afternoon along with a photo of Vanessa and me together, both wearing the same expression of quiet satisfaction. Daniel thought he was clever enough to live 2 separate lives. He never imagined his wives would join forces to create a third reality, one where his deceptions finally caught up with him. Some people collect classic cars or vintage wines. My husband collected families and fraudulent businesses. Now he's collecting federal charges instead.